So, when it comes to the whole world of modern gaming, there's definitely been a lot of amazing things that have come out of it and continue to come out of it. But there's also been some really dark and horrible things as well. And so today I'm going to look at some recent issues in the industry that kind of make me feel like modern gaming is actually dangerous. And so let's take a look at this. So the first one is something that I think for anybody who's been, paying attention to gaming news with the Grand Theft Auto 6 leak that came out. Now the person who actually did this, it was an 18-year-old hacker in the UK. He's actually been charged with leaking this, and the result of this is actually indefinite life sentence to a hospital prison. And what a hospital prison is, well, he is not like mentally fit to actually be on trial. And once this is sentenced and everything goes through because of his mental health issues, he's basically going to be stuck in a hospital for the rest of his life with some options to actually get in and out. And who knows what's going to happen in the future. But this really sets a precedence because for something like this, which is definitely a crime, I don't ever remember, at least in the gaming space, for you getting an indefinite or lifelong prison sentence, in this case, a hospital prison, ever. And that's definitely not to say this isn't a horrible thing, what this person did, but the actual severity of this is kind of scary because in the future, who knows what might be deemed as, criminal when it comes to leaking information because there's a lot of gaming sites, and gamers that might be releasing stuff that these companies might not want. And unfortunately, there's like no hard and fast rules on this. It really depends on which country you're in, their jurisdiction, and the companies who are going after you. And so this is really scary from that standpoint. And then another standpoint is the gamers themselves. Okay, so Insomniac Games had a recent leak, and this is very similar where these hackers had ransomware and they were demanding $2 million from Sony, and Sony didn't pay that. And so, because of that, they leaked all this very sensitive information, not only on games, but the most important thing is confidential information on the people working there, and who knows what other personal information. And that kind of goes to this whole world of modern gaming. As anybody who has experience with a lot of these modern gaming services, most of the time you're actually going to have to sign up and put in your personal information, not only your name, address, and so forth, but also your credit card information. There is a lot of personal data that these gaming companies and services collect. And this isn't isolated to just gaming because a lot of our personal information is online. And for a lot of really important things like banking and so forth, you kind of don't have a choice. But for banking and things like that, it kind of makes sense. But for gaming, they have so much information on you. And when things like this happens, it's also another really scary sign because you don't have any control over that. And at the same time, once this information gets leaked out, you don't know how it's going to be used, especially when your personal information is sold on the dark web and so forth. And so all of these events that are happening and have been happening and will continue to happen really makes me more concerned of this whole world of modern gaming. I personally am not a fan of modern gaming. Most of what I do is retro gaming. And, obviously, if you do have physical gaming, that's great. But for a lot of people, they don't have that, at least for the older retro games. And so there's definitely things like emulation. And with all of these type of gamings, I try my best not to have to sign up for some type of internet-based online gaming service, okay? Because that means there's more liability for you in terms of impacts like this. And also, whenever these hackers do these things, there's never any good intention with the data that they've taken. And so those are some of my thoughts on it with these two situations and also just modern gaming as a whole. And well, I don't really see it getting better in the future. So if you actually had any thoughts on this, be sure to leave in the comments area below. And if you did want to see some of my retro gaming videos, I do have an entire playlist. I'll leave that in the description area below.
Hey geeks, if you are a brand new creator and you simply want something easy to get you started, well, I got something for you with my Creator Starter Kit. This is a super simple step-by-step guide that's going to take you from having no channel to developing your very first YouTube channel, along with ideas, thumbnail designs, and other creator tips, including marketing. And the best part is, all of this is free. Simply head over to the link below, check out my page, and get started creating.